Your Excellency, Mr. Mwanka, Deputy Chairperson of African Union Commission, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the people of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, I am extremely delighted to welcome you all here in Addis Ababa for this very important event, the eLearning Africa 2015 conference. The government of Ethiopia, through the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, is honored to host the 10th eLearning International Conference in Addis Ababa in collaboration with the African Union and Integrated Communications Worldwide Events. Ethiopia draws enormous satisfaction from hosting the first eLearning Africa in May 2006, and now, after 10 years, we are hosting the 10th eLearning Africa Conference again in May 2015 for the second time, that brought together various stakeholders from all over the world, the education and ICT sectors. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it has been abundantly clear that information and communication technologies are entirely changing the way individuals, organizations, and enterprises think and do business. As a result, the Ethiopian government has made the development of information and communication technology one of its strategic priorities. For Ethiopia, the utilization of ICT aims at accelerating development, sustaining growth, and promoting the process of democratization, while at the same time reducing the national level of poverty. To this end, the government has been pursuing and implementing various sound and workable policies and strategies with a view to expanding the horizon of ICT so as to play a pivotal role in the enhancement of the social, political, and economic development of the country. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as is well known, education is a fundamental building block of democratization, development, and the transformation of society. Hence, for developing countries like Ethiopia to emerge strong and competitive in the international arena, the way out from poverty in the shortest possible time is by raising the education coverage and using ICT as accelerator of it. Thus, the introduction of ICT into the education system could result in a change from traditional methods and thoughts to completely new thoughts and methods. For ICT to have a positive development impact, its use must be aligned with the goals of education for all and other development agendas. It is thus important to recognize the need to develop sufficient capacity throughout society, including the marginalized and vulnerable groups, for this to bear fruit. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you back to some of our status in 2006, where we conducted the first eLearning conference, and compare it with the current progress to reflect on the path traversed during the last 10 years. During the first eLearning conference, the primary education coverage was 89%. And we are hopeful to meet the Millennium Development Goals by the year 2015. Now, the coverage has reached 100.3%. This symbolizes that the wish has changed to reality, where MDG in education is achieved. Technical and vocational education and training annual intake was 137,000, and now 408,000. In the time of the first eLearning conference, we had 22 universities with annual intake of 36,000, while in 2015, we have 33 public universities with annual intake of 387,685. If we incorporate the private colleges, the intake adds to 553,848. With these illustrations, I'm certain that you will agree on the remarkable achievements made since the launch of the first eLearning Africa conference in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Furthermore, my government is determined more than ever to increase the gear of developing our human capital, which is a decisive factor and guarantee of transforming our country as well as our continent. Alongside raising the educational coverage, paramount attention has been also given to improve the quality of education. For this to happen, the Ethiopian government has designed and implemented policy strategies and has allocated a huge amount of resource in a bid to integrate ICT into Ethiopian education system. One of our flagship projects, the SchoolNet project, was designed to develop a wide area network linking all schools in the country and making internet and online education accessible to students, teachers, and school staff. Going back again, the first eLearning Africa conference, the SchoolNet project was launched to connect 500 secondary schools, and now we have over 1,800 schools in the loop. The SchoolNet initiative is found to be a powerful means to utilize the emerging electronic messaging and enhance the delivery of teaching and learning materials and information, as well as to support management and administration of the school system in the country. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my government has also implemented the network of 22 public universities, and work is in progress to connect the 10 newly established universities. In addition, the development of e-medicine and education and higher education system is the other important point where my government attached due consideration. For a country like Ethiopia, where we continue to live with scarce skilled manpower, particularly in the health and education sectors, the development of e-medicine and e-learning infrastructure will have immense contribution. During our first eLearning Africa conference, we had slightly over 4,000 kilometers of optical fiber network all over the country, while now we have nearly 16,000 kilometers of optical fiber network. In 2006, under universal access and internet connectivity, 5,000 rural centers have access to telecom, whereas in 2015, 16,000 rural centers have access to telecom, which signifies the nearly full achievement of telecom services in remote villages. However, at this juncture, it's appropriate to note that even though some moves are underway in the infrastructure, currently the full potential of ICT networks is underutilized. Hence, against this backdrop, the Ethiopian government has created a fertile ground for the expansion of ICT services in the country through establishing the necessary enabling environment so as to streamline ICT applications and electronic services into the various development programs of the country, which are believed to strategically intervene in speeding up the involvement and growth of information affluent society in the country. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of the eLearning Africa conference is Enriching Tomorrow, focus on different issues, and some of them are mobile learning, smart technologies, and tools for the teaching learning process, and advanced researches on e-learning ecosystem. A major focus of the conference will be on the role technology-assisted learning can play in helping to develop the skills vital for the future of Africa by equipping young Africans with entrepreneurial expertise, supporting capacity development in key sectors such as health, and assisting a new generation of entrepreneurs to develop innovative solutions in the education technology sector. You will also agree with me that a myriad of information will be availed and shared from all these activities, and it is my hope that with this information, Africa will take a step forward in its endeavors to uplift the lives of its people through use of ICTs in its development agendas. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Ethiopia has a long tradition of recorded history and a very rich cultural heritage. In the midst of all this, I hope you will also find time to appreciate Ethiopia's heritage and hospitality. Wishing you success in your deliberations, I declare the 10th International Conference on ICT for Development, Education, and Training officially open, and thank you.